You're taking care of the daycare, which is found on Oak Street. The daycare is needed for little James, who is the student's youngest child. He's age 2. He needs to have daycare every month, and he needs to have daycare regardless of whether or not the parents have a job, because if they aren't working, they still need to be continuing their job search or taking odd jobs. What you're going to need for this station is the record that is on the screen right now. You'll also need this document, which is the Neighborhood Employment Agency job listings. And you'll need a pencil and a stamp marker, or if you prefer using stickers, just depending on how you're set up. The first thing you're going to notice about this daycare record is that there's the names down the left-hand side of the students. They'll come up and they will tell you their name, their fictitious name, and then the work hours. And this is the first thing you're going to want to find out from the student when they come to you. You're going to want to find out what their job is and what their job hours are. So if they don't know what that is, that's what this document is for. What you'll find from this is you'll look down the left side and find their job, and then look over to the far right and it'll tell the hours that job is that they're needed. Now, with the job hours, they need to remember that they have to have transportation time to get from the daycare to their job. So that's really important to remember. So you're going to mark the hours of the job down the work hour column for each student. If the students are unemployed, you'll write just unemployed in that column. So after you have the work hours for each student as they come up to you, you're going to assess with them. You're going to talk this through with them and help them understand why this is important. You need to figure out whether or not their work hours fit into the daycare operation hours. Now, the normal operation hours are Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. So what happens if they work, say, 6 a.m. to 3 p.m.? They're obviously not going to be covered on the front part of their work hours. So there's going to be an hour where they're not covered. So what they need to know is that they're going to need the daycare here. If their hours fit into that 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. time frame, no problem. They'll get to do the $500 for that month. But if they don't, they can actually get extended care from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. or 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. And that costs them an extra $200 per month. So if they have no problems with their hours, they'll just have the $500, and you'll just circle that, just showing that's what they need to pay for each month. If they need the extended care, you will also circle the $200. So they would need to pay each month $500 plus $200 if they need the extended care. So when they pay for that, they would actually come through, and you would take their money, you would X through with your pencil, X through the number of that month, X through the number of that month, collect their money, either $500 or $700. Then on their game board, which looks like this, and you're looking at the dependent care, which is right here on Oak Street, you will notice that there's 3 numbers. There's a 1, 2, and 3 that is for each of the months, and then there's a 2, 7, and 9 under each of the months. The 2 stands for James, who is 2 years old. So in this case, you would just make sure you would X the 2 and make sure that that one is taken care of. The 7 and the 9 will be taken care of at the school, and we'll talk about that next. So if they've paid for James, you just mark through the 2 on each month. Now, if they have, say, a weekend job, or say their hours just don't fit into even the extended care, there is another option, and it's called private in-home care. So they can have care in their home any hours, any days, for up to 40 hours per week. So this is more expensive. It's $800, and it seems like that might be pricey for them. However, the good part is that it also helps care for their other 2 children. So it could be a good option for them to choose. Now, if they choose this, they wouldn't choose these two. They would not be marked through. So if this is the option they want to go with, you would just circle the $800 and then you would mark it there. $800 would fulfill then the daycare need for little James and possibly some of the care for the older children.